Bulawayo's sewerage infrastructure, inherited from the colonial government, has outlived its capacity. It cannot accommodate the growing population of the city anymore. Sewer blockages are now common and they are posing a threat to the health and sanitation of residents. Residents have had to endure foul smells and repulsive sights of waste flowing on the streets. What makes it worse is that the streets are playgrounds for their children. They now accuse the Bulawayo City Council of not investing in the rehabilitation of sewer infrastructure and the basic provision of services. Residents have lost confidence in the local authority. Kudzaima Kumbe had to relocate from her home after the sewerage manhole in her yard burst and flowed into her house, destroying furniture and food.
Kule angazi umbe bathi imenolo phakathi kweyadi kuhlezi kututuma udubuke abantu basebebuya bezolungisa be-city council so ke ukuthi nxa izulu selisina vele nxa sokusiya kubo December izulu lingana kuyatutuma kungena endlini via i-toilet seat kuyakwanisa ukungena ama-rooms onke. So ungaze ufonela abantu be-city council usakubona ukuthi sokusiba lo monakalo ababuyi kungaonakala bayahlala futhi so vele kuthiwe kulama number uyafona bakunika inamba yakho inamba yona le nxa usufona bacela bengasafuna ukukhuluma lawe bethi sizwile kodwa kuhlala iviki ngicine ngincedwa ngabomakhelwane abanye abakwazi abantu ibecine sebebuya ngikwazi baye bekwenze njani. Nxa sebebuya khonapho vele kuyabe kungasathambanga vele singasahlali sonke endlini siyathutha. Nxa sebebuyile sesibuya nxa sebeqedile abafaki umuthi phansi abathini bayahamba lisale liklina kwezinye insuku nyangihaya abantu ngoba uwedwa sibili kunzima siyenzeke singayenza laba abantu baye bengafuni phela into yakwazi kuyabe kunjani imagine 5 rooms. So ngikline ngaqeda ukuklina ke khonapho sengihlala nje kodwa ngihlala ngisevalweni every year nxa izulu selingani selizaqalisa bayathi bona bala manpower.
Kudzai's experience is not isolated. Most of the residents in the city also lament the best sewers that are turning their suburbs inhabitable.
No, Angelina Ndlovu, ngihlala ku 1042 Outbreak. Isikhathi sesiside iblockage le ikhona almost about 35 years into evele ihleli ikhona injalo. Into le iyahlupha. Uhlupha njengobana kusinqasa kugcwala lapha. Sabe sesifuna ukuthi besincedisane labo makhelwane ukuthi njengobana kungale la kuyakusebenza kuyi one thing. So kazofanele sincedisane ukuthi sihwaye idoti lani njani sikhiphe ngaphandle kweyadi. Lapha nje ubuza ukuthi kwenzakala kangaki ngenyanga iblockage le kuyenzeka ukuthi kwesinye isikhathi yenzeka 3 ngenyanga.
Andreas Ndlovu ngihlala kusona isigaba ngumakhelwane wakhona apha emzini. Ukuthi ngitsho vele ukuthi sokulesikhathi esingakanani kunzima mbijana laba vele stitch lesi sokudala vele saqalisa ukwenza njalo and i-problem yakhona ukuthi asila long term ukuthi bengalungisa ukuthi sihlale isikhathi esikanyanani bengabe singadubukanga. So I think nxa ngikhangele mina njengakathesi so and it's almost maybe at the beginning of this year lokhu sidubuka. So the other thing esiqelela njengoba lisibonile ukuthi vele ngesikhathi sikuyiso amanzi ayasilela, we don't have enough water plus ukuthi ama-taps are dry and dry, so that siyesaba sihlalele evalweni njengoba kulama-typhoid kulama-dysentery kunzima ukuthi kide esigabeni sonesa.
Amasuriji agcwele kakhulu kulindawo kubhasta there and there. Isikhathi sezulu ngani njengoba esilisina so uyathola ukuthi kuyabhasta kwesinye isikhathi badingwe bake bathatha isikhathi eside bengabuyanga uzothiwa fonela ku-emergency. Lama-emergency numbers angikhona ungafona takes a long time ukuthi baze baresponde ku-issue yakho. Like ngakhangela kuyona le line 4 kuke kwabhasta kwenye indawo we had to call them sabafonela isikhathi abasithatha kwazi kwadonsela up to nearly 3 to 4 days bengabuyanga amasuwa lana besephakathi already lezindlini phakathi kwabantu yabe ungasaphuma ukuthi uye ngasetoilet yonke into yabe isivimbezeleke phakathi.
Kuyadubuka izititshi lihambele kukhansila uthi ubuze kungena ezindlini zabantu ukhulume utshele bona be-resident ye-progressive akulotho lokwenza sesikhuluma mayelana lemigwaqo njengoba liyibona imigwaqo uyafica abantwana babhukutshe edotini khonapho bekulama-sewerage avele ka-concern ngakho besilo baba ukhansila unyathe esimkhiphayo azange siyithole ikhorela entumbane but kathesi uyafica ukuthi abantu sebenjani sebegula ma uthi uyaripota kukhansila uyakutshova ku-resident yakhe e-progressive uthi uyabalanda bona be-progressive akula ngitsho i-production bazabe sebekutshela okokuthi lokho ngokwenu liyekela abantu besuke ngale bezochithela izibi la sibabuza ukuthi kathi manje amakaka lawa angena ezindlini zabantu kuthathwa kuthiweni ngoba abantu babe besidla ikaki iyadlula khona lapha kulokuphila yini khona lapha.
Ngizongisibongile Latifa Banda umhlali walapha eLuveve. We've lived in such a horrifying situation of sewer bursts for quite a long time. It's actually painful and it's unbearable. It has reached to a point where we can't stomach it anymore. It has affected our livelihood in so many ways. For example, let's say you are a single mother like me who fend for herself. You cannot leave the children alone at home. Even if there is an older daughter or a child, you cannot leave them alone because you fear any time a sewer can burst or they can actually play where there is a sewer burst. They need control more often and they need guidance all the time. So it's like our children are no longer free to play around because of this sewer burst.
After 2 weeks, I'm going to attend a problem. Ngapha abantwana silabantwana abancane abantwana babedlalisa wona lawo manzi bedlalela phakathi kodawula nalelo khorela khonapho isibuye kusasa kwakhona
phakathi kwamuzi wethu emthumbani lapha ama-drainage vele kuyanuka indawo zonke singababiza sithi ikansela yabuya ukhangela nje kuphela iyo iyadlula kuthi basebenze baqondane sibizane sincedisane nix kudala sibe na abantu basuka ku environment basuka ku city council babehamba emarayinini lapha likhambisa njani umsebenzi sibabawona kade siyabasibabona I don't know why. So city council yethu ayisebenzele kuhle nana the way round. Even ukansela awusebenzele kuhle nana the way round.
Dr. Eugene Makaya lectures in the Department of Civil and Water Engineering at the National University of Science and Technology. He says poor maintenance of the infrastructure over the years wouldn't have yielded any better.
A lot needs to be done, particularly the upgrading of these systems. You find they are well designed. Of course, we would assume that they are well designed because they go through processes before a sewer system is commissioned. But what happens down the line is that these systems, they go there for a long time without any repair and maintenance. So there are blockages that happen. A lot of material is actually dumped into our sewer system. I'm sure you might even heard about children being found, dead bodies being found in our sewer system. They block the system. People use diapers and any other materials. They are dumped into the sewer system and they end up blocking the system. You'll be shocked if you happen to have time to look, observe a maintenance process taking place. The sand that is found in our sewer system, the glass material that you find in our sewer system, these are huge amounts that are deposited there and they clog the system and they block the system. So these systems needs to be maintained on a more frequent basis because mainly our households have grown, where you find within 1 yard there are quite a number of people, up to 20 people staying in one household, and that actually results in overloading of our system. and the sewer system end up failing. It's very sad because people derive their livelihoods from cities, and that's why people come into cities. And if you look at even the cost of rentals, people end up staying in one household instead of people staying individually.
Director of Engineering Services at the Bulawayo City Council, Smela Dube, says residents also contribute to the crisis of best sewers.
We have experienced challenges where our SWAT teams even find televisions inside the sewer system. They find rock inside the sewer system. They find clothes inside the sewer system. Sometimes they even find babies inside the sewer system. Obviously, this is the abuse of the sewer system by the communities. And we have been engaging on public education with the communities. Some of them are actually doing that for gardening. In other ways, they actually block the sewer so as to irrigate their pastures from the sewer effluent that will be coming out of that. Some is just vandalism. In some cases, I think we've been, at the inception of the sewer networks, we're using cast iron manual covers. And people started taking that for manufacture of cast iron pots for cooking purposes. We changed from cast iron, we moved on to concrete. And that concrete covers the reinforcement inside. People will come and actually destroy those covers. As you destroy, is the concrete that falls into the sewer system, and they take away the steel to go and manufacture garden forks and things like that. So all these are the challenges that the community is actually putting on strain onto the sewer system. And of late, we have come up with a design of a lockable sewer manual, which makes it difficult for anyone to open it. But that is at a cost, and those costs are actually then borne by the communities themselves. So when you see the sewer being unblocked and continuously blocking, in some cases, while there could be areas where there is need for engineering redesign, just like we're doing in the Nkulumane Nketa area, but the bulk of those is due to abuse of the sewer system by the communities.
A recent diarrhea outbreak has killed 13 people in one of Bulawayo's oldest suburbs, Luveve. 1,800 more have been infected. Luveve residents have no one else to blame but the city council for this catastrophe. They say their tap water was discolored with particles of solid matter, grayish, brownish, and dark green in color. They claim they have been consuming sewer water brought to their taps by the city council. Stella Ndlovu represents Luveve constituency at the House of Assembly.
I saw the 47 and I did not agree with that. So these figures, I got them from the bosses there, from Dr. Nyat. I just collected the figures now. And we don't have figures for people who are hospitalized. That's one other thing, except for 27 kids. I think those are in Pilo Hospital. We don't have figures from UPH Hospital. So we don't have figures. He said to me, we have sent a team to go and see or count people who are at the hospital. So we have more figures because some don't go via the clinic. They straight away just call an ambulance and go to Mpilo. So I don't agree with the 47. I don't know where you got that 47 from. Where did you get that 47? Because even if you go to the clinic, now as I'm talking to you, you'll find more than 47 people today at this juncture. And I don't know how many we have from morning. I was there, ambulances are still ferrying people to Bilo, and we have queues and queues of people who are waiting to be saved. And we have, I think, about how many teams, 5 or 6 teams that are there just for this diarrhea only. 8, people are scared to drink this water. You open WhatsApp groups, everybody's complaining about water. Well, when I asked the city of Bulawayo, they said, we are cleaning the pipes. Now, what I would ask the city council to do for us as residents, if they are cleaning the pipes, they must alert us and say, between this time and this time we are cleaning the pipes, please don't collect the water or don't drink the water. That is very important. Because when people start collecting dirty water, they start phoning me, MP, come and see, what is it? No, I don't think it is fair. If they are cleaning the pipes, that's fine. We are happy about that, but alert us so that we don't collect water during that period. And let me look at a short-term plan for this problem. 15 boreholes have been resuscitated in Nyamandlovu. I'm sure we are drinking water from the 15 boreholes now, but we need more to be resuscitated.
Dr. Makaya says it is possible for sewer water to get mixed with clean potable water.
When we talk about water crisis, we are looking at particularly water quality issues, because the only relationship between our water supply system and our wastewater systems is the interaction between the two systems. So when the two systems interact, one contaminates the other. In other words, the sewer system contaminates the water system. So principally it's about contamination that comes from our sewage, which intrudes into the water supply system.
And what happens when the wastewater intrudes into the water supply system?
There is dilution that happens, and normally it happens at different points. I'm sure you are familiar with the fact that normally these run parallel to each other, the water and the sewer. So the sewage gets into the water system, and when that happens, because you know the sewage has got what we call sewage characteristics, which are in the form of chemicals, in the form of organic pollutants. We also have nitrates, which are also fertilizer elements, which are found there. We also have bacteria, is also found in our wastewater. So all these, when they find their way into the water supply system, you find we are contaminating the water through these elements. It could be heavy metals. They also find their way, whose effects may not be quickly observed, but you find when it is bacteria, which are our pathogens, when they find their way into the water system, their effects and impacts are quickly observed, because as soon as one consumes that water, they fall ill.
Councillor Fepi Msipa's ward has been the most affected with the diarrhea cases. She urges residents to report sewer bursts immediately so the local authority can fix the cases before there is extensive damage.
Bayaripota, bengaripota mina bese ngithumezela ngapha ku-city council. Ku-city council so babhala bese besinika i-reference number. I-reference number la bese ngithumezela ama-resident abe-reportile. So kwesikhathi badile kuyafika khona in time. So ama-resident bese complain ukuthi hayi sewer lokhu igcwele indawo yonke ayikalungisiswa. So la bese senze i-follow up ke sembuza ukuthi uhamba njani ngoba ngaripota into le sokulesikhathi. So okukhona ngithi bathi yena imota zindutshwana kwakathesi ngoba idorobho likhulu kabe kuripotwe maybe emalokitshini wonke beripotile bebaningi abantu like eCatripark lwana inkulu kangakani. So ukuthi report and babe kulandelana, so ukuthi beqede ngale bebe ngapha ngithela ufefika sokuthetha isikhathi. Angithi yabona isisuwa nxa sigcwele indawo yonke sithi mbe kulabantwana ababedlala khonapho. Phela umntwana uyabe engakwazi ukubona amanzi lawa mahle mbe hayi doti engizozala papa sokupheka amatope. Yikho kungenzakala kube khona. Njalo labantu bapana uyabona ukuthi nxa uhlezi isisuwa esikhona impukane zabuya zihlale bapana nxa sekudlela lakho zihlala njalo kungaba njalo lapho. Ngibakhuthaza ukuthi be-report masinyane kusanda kwenzakala kungakabi lesikhathi esikhulu.
Some residents are not convinced that the council has its act together. They allege that the city council is failing to use chemicals to disinfect affected areas after repairing a sewer burst.
Bekufakwa imithi ngemva koba nxa amasurije lokhuza. Yes, lathi lephana sithe nxa sisungula sikhula sikubonile. But today sokumele uthathe ifosholo ukuphupfunule konke inhlabathi lane phakathi lamasurije. Kathi imithi yona leyana yayifakwa ngemva kokuba amasurije sokuvaliwe kulokhuza kwawo. Iseyayanga. Ukhansila akasebenze khangele izimfuno zezakhamizi maqala ngoba ubukhokheli lobuyana buvela kibo abantu bona labana thini esikhulumayo bakhokhela ngenxa yethu. Bangathatha khonke abakuthola balungise ezindlini zabo bona bodwa. Awusoze ube yinkunzi ulungise esibayeni sakho lapho ozabhonga khona ukhohlwe ngabantu okumele ubakhangele. So abaqale bakhangele imfuno zabantu babona imigwaqo yabe yaseviswa iyalungiswa ngendlela eqondileyo lamasuriji kulungiswa ngendlela eqondileyo. All in all molengani khona lokho bengu.
Prevention is better than cure. Singaphuza thina sizatshela abantwana yikho I think i-city council okufanele ispeed up ngoba uthi i-react after into sesizenzile it becomes a problem.
Bulawayo City Council chairperson of the Subcommittee of Engineering Services, Alderman Enes Rafamoyo, confirms that due to budget constraints, the council has been unable to use any chemicals to disinfect after repairing sewer bursts.
The chemical which were used long then, well, it's no longer being used. There are a lot of things which is happening. Well, the economic meltdown is also hitting the city council. We might not get those chemicals easily to use them because of the cash trap which we are in. No money to buy the chemicals to spray after offloading the best. Well, we are in a greatest challenge as a city. And there's also residents because there is no money to buy the chemical. That is the chemical for spreading, but not for the water treatment. We are really targeting most of them treating the water which the people are drinking.
The Bulawayo Water and Sewerage Services Improvement Project was launched in 2016 as a solution to improve municipal water supply and sanitation services. The program is said to be progressing as some areas in the city have already benefited from it.
Yes, the BSWIP project has really improved a lot in our sewer system. It's only that we have been hit by the water shedding. But really, the flowing of the sewer from the pipes to the streams has been a little bit eliminated. A lot of collapsed pipes have been fixed. Most places, Ngolomani, Pamula East, and Luveve, the pipes have been really repaired. The collapses, and basically, in that the SAST station has also been improved. I'm sure that's why we are now talking of the Kam Dam. Everyone knows that the sewer system, the infrastructure, we are inheriting the infrastructure which was put in by not even our independent government, by the Smith government. That infrastructure was meant for maybe a few people, not this time when everyone have migrated to the city of Bulawayo. So, well, to improve the system, we have basically to have a lot of money so that we improve the size of the pipes, but we've done our best.
Residents' associations say the Bulawayo City Council must be transparent on service delivery. The Bulawayo Progressive Residents Association says without honesty from the local council, residents will inevitably condemn the council for neglect.
The first thing that we have done is we have taught residents on the right to demand service delivery from the city council. So now they are empowered, they're able to know the role of their councillors and which numbers to actually contact. So you find that residents are now able even to write petitions in terms of if there's any grievance that they have with the city council. So empowerment is what we actually call for the residents to have as a program. I think one of the problems that we actually have with the city council is their inability to admit that there is a problem. So the first step is for them to admit that no, we have a problem with the residents where they stay, or as the council that this is a particular problem. So you find that when residents are demanding a service, they might tell you that they don't have fuel whatsoever. So now that actually destroys the trust that the residents actually have. So maybe if people are told that this is what we have maybe in our coffers, this is the amount of money that we have, this is the amount of resources that we have that we can actually use to respond to your queries, then people may understand. If the council says no, maybe come tomorrow or come later. But now if the council says, okay, no, we are coming today to attend your sewer, and they do not come, so that actually destroys the faith that people have in the city council. So people actually need the council to actually communicate honestly in terms of what they can do and what they cannot do, so that the resident can also play their part in terms of paying for their rates.
The Bulawayo City Council says it is working on interventions that can enable the managing of the sewer system in the city.
We're putting a design of a lockable manhole that will try to minimize access into our manholes, because like I was saying in the past, a manhole was just made so that anyone can just lift it up and put it back. But now we're making them a bit difficult to open by introducing some keys into one weight and also a key into the manhole systems to minimize the vandalism that is going there. But I think our appeal really is that people should try and utilize the sewer system properly, flush what should be flushed down. Let's avoid again washing using sand, because when you wash using sand and you are putting that sand into the gully, it goes down, but wherever it finds a little blockage, that sand actually sits in there. And you find that when you're doing sewer maintenance or unblocking, one of the biggest challenges is the sand that will actually be within the sewer system, so that our teams have to actually go in there, drag the sand, take it out for the sewer system to work. So we really appeal to communities to actually avoid washing using sand. And also your gully systems, you find that normally when people start, there's a nice gully trap and the gully surround on the outside taps. But with those times, those things, they break and people stop maintaining them. And in the morning, they are sweeping, water is getting into the sewer, sand is getting into the sewer system. We're working again in Outbreak Park, the Hlalani area, where the intervention was to put in the major outfall sewers from the Hlalani area to feed to our treatment works, which is the Outbreak Park ponds. That again is almost above 90% and should be completed as well by around October this year. So we have really made some good progress. And within the project, we attend into what we call hotspots. In other words, those areas that cause perennial blockages. The contractor is also working on that. Is actually contained in the SAST catchment project. And we're almost complete with those works. So we believe if the people don't abuse the sewer system again, we should see improved flows to the treatment works and reduced flows in the river systems in the Kami catchment area.
SITE launched an online platform called Fix My City in order to hold the Bulawayo City Council accountable. The platform enables a smooth communication between residents and the local authority in reporting service delivery issues. Residents send reports of sewer bursts in various areas that need to be attended to by the local authority. The platform has made it easier for residents to receive a quick response from the council. Bulawayo needs an immediate intervention that will address the sewer system.